Imagine this. You're on the brink of starting a big project. Your deadlines are clearly marked. Your calendar is ready. Your favorite playlist is fired up. And yet, 3 hours later, you've achieved absolutely nothing except mastering the art of scrolling through useless trivia and discovering snacks you didn't even know you had. Ever wondered why this happens? You won't believe what really goes on inside a procrastinator's mind. Today, we're diving deep into the strange, twisty workings of the procrastinator mind. Get ready, because this mental battleground is nothing less like you think. Before we jump into the quirky chaos of the procrastinator mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss out on any more insights from the Growth Mindset Project. Join our community of lifelong learners and get motivated with every new upload. Let's go back a bit. Picture me as a university student facing endless assignments, essays, and papers. Here's how it should have worked for a typical student. You start early, get some of the tough stuff out of the way, build up momentum, and finish with confidence. Sure, there might be a few late nights, but everything gets managed week by week, one step at a time. That's the rational approach, right? But if you possess the procrastinator mind, things unfold very differently. I'd always begin with grand intentions, planning out my workload like military operations, neat schedules, color-coded lists, even inspirational quotes taped to my wall. But then procrastinator logic would hijack me. Days would slip by in a haze of distractions until, instead of building a staircase to success, I'd find myself dangling on the edge of disaster, surrounded by empty coffee cups and panic-induced adrenaline. It became extreme when I had to tackle my senior thesis, a project meant to span an entire year. Instead of steady progress, I watched the calendar shrink from months to weeks to days, until 3 days before the deadline I still hadn't written a single word. What did I do? I launched into a 72-hour caffeine-fueled marathon, writing the whole thing in one go. It wasn't a masterpiece, but somehow it met the deadline. Which raises the question, why does the procrastinator mind behave this way when rationally it would be easier to avoid so much stress? The answer is that the procrastinator mind is run by two powerful characters locked in an endless tug-of-war. On one side is the rational decision-maker, the part of you that plans ahead, sets goals, and knows what's best in the long term. On the other side, perched right at the wheel, is the instant gratification monkey. The rational decision-maker wants you to get started on your essay, your project, your workout. But the monkey couldn't care less. He lives entirely in the now. He doesn't care about tomorrow or next week or your future health or your dreams. He wants comfort, fun and ease right now. And in a world full of endless distractions, that monkey has a playground bigger than ever. He'll pull you into the dark playground, a place where you indulge in activities that feel fun on the surface but are loaded with guilt and dread. Instead of working, you find yourself deep diving into an online encyclopedia about some obscure war, binge-watching random videos, or checking your fridge every 10 minutes hoping snacks magically appeared. And the worst part, the fun isn't even real fun. It's poisoned by the guilt of knowing you should be doing something else. That's the dark playground in action. Does this sound familiar? If it does, smash that like button and tell us in the comments how your procrastinator mind has derailed your plans. Now, if the monkey is always in control, how does anything ever get done? That's where a third character shows up. The panic monster. The panic monster wakes up only when disaster is truly imminent. When the deadline is hours away, when embarrassment looms, when someone is about to demand results. The panic monster terrifies the monkey, who runs off instantly, and suddenly the rational decision-maker seizes the wheel. That's when you pull all-nighters, churn out essays, and somehow deliver at the last second. It's a bizarre cycle. Ignore, distract, panic, sprint. And for short-term deadlines, it sort of works. But here's the terrifying part. The panic monster only wakes up when there's an external deadline. For things with no deadlines, your health, your long-term dreams, your relationships, the panic monster never shows up. There's no angry teacher demanding you start exercising, no furious boss shouting at you to repair that friendship, no calendar alert forcing you to finally write that book or launch that side project. And so the monkey stays in control, distracting you endlessly while your most important goals gather dust. That's the cruel trap of the procrastinator mind. It can survive deadlines, but it slowly kills dreams. Without pressure, nothing happens. And when nothing happens in areas that matter most, regret begins to grow quietly in the background. Imagine a life calendar with one box for each week of a 90-year lifespan. It's not nearly as many boxes as you'd hope, and every single one is filled, either with actions that push you closer to meaning or with wasted distraction handed over to the monkey. Most people wake up far too late, realizing that while they managed to meet every school or work deadline, they neglected the projects that had no countdown clock attached: dreams, passions, relationships, health. That's why procrastination is more than a bad habit. It's a silent thief. Everyone has a procrastinator mind lurking in the background, but not everyone learns to tame it. So what can you do? First, notice when you're in the dark playground. Catch yourself. Ask, am I doing this because I chose to, or because the monkey tricked me? Second, stop relying on the panic monster for motivation. Deadlines force action. But true growth comes when you build habits and routines that don't need last-minute terror. And then third, shrink the monkey's playground by reducing temptations. Put the phone in another room, block sites, declutter your workspace. Make the rational decision-maker's path easier to follow. And most of all, remember, for the goals that matter most, there's no deadline, no rescue from the panic monster. It's up to you to act now, not someday. If this message clicks for you, subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and hit the bell so you never miss these deep dives into the psychology of becoming your best self. Drop a comment. What dream or project has your procrastinator mind kept on hold for too long? Share it, make it real, and maybe, just maybe, scare your own panic monster awake before it's too late. Because procrastination doesn't just waste hours, it can waste lives. You've got the rational decision maker inside you. Hand him back the wheel today and watch what happens when you finally escape the monkey's grip.